The Detroit Lions had to create a new rule just for Aiden, man, the Hutch rule, because this guy's absolutely blowing it up in practice. Let me read you guys this quote from Dan Campbell. He says, if you can't block Hutch, then he's going to blow up every practice. That's not good. Obviously not good. But Aidan Hutchinson right now, this dude's nuts. He's just playing, I mean, out of his mind. It's the best that they've seen of Aiden yet. This is his 4th season. He's coming off a fib. And he looks better. He's playing better. And I've got some quotes for you guys. I got a few videos lined up. And we're going to talk about why this is so important for this defense this year. I mean, we absolutely need to have Marcus Davenport stay healthy. But Aiden, if he's playing this way, like a man apart, he's absolutely going to crush it this season. And I can't wait to see it. You know why? Because quite simply, this kid is, this man, I should say, has never wavered, ever, in his pursuit of becoming one of the best to ever do it. That's his goal, right? He wants to be one of the best to ever do it. But he's never wavered, even after what happened in week 6 last season. Season's cut short, right? He's dominating, in the stat lines, the defensive landscape. He's changing it. He's leading the league in sacks and pressures and pass rush win rate. Like he's just playing out of his mind last year. You've heard me talk about the lower tiered tackles and guards that he went up against. Always on the left side of the defense, going up against 3rd and 4th string tackles and guards, because the teams that we were playing through the first 6 weeks had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. However, the record books don't care about that. A stat is a stat. A sack is a sack. A tackle is a tackle. A pressure is a pressure. So for that reason, yeah, he could reset some things. And I hope that he continues, where he left off last year. And according to Dan and Shep and Jared Goff and others, he's better. He's better. 7.5 sacks was first. 30 quarterback pressures, tied for 4th through week 6 of last season. Clearly, he was in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year and looked to be mounting some serious challenges to the single season sack record held by Michael Strahan and TJ Watt. 22.5. I mean, shoot, he was more than a third of the way there in 5.5 games. Let's roll into Dan Campbell and let's listen to what he has to say about, Aiden's progress and what he looks like early in training camp this year. And this is kind of, going to be partly why they had to create this rule for Aidan Hutchinson. It's hilarious to me. But here we go. Let's roll into Dan Campbell.
I love this group. Aidan Hutchinson, if he didn't have that wrap on his lower left leg, I wouldn't know that guy had a severe and gruesome leg injury last year. What do you see from him on the field?
I see a player that is very confident in his abilities. I see a player that appears to bend even better than last year. And I see a player that who was hungry that's even hungrier. So it's good to have him back, and he's going to have a hell of a season for us.
When you say Aidan Hutchinson is better than a year ago, that sounds like a superhero origin story. What do you attribute that to, and what does it mean?
Well, look, it starts with him. I mean, this guy is all about business. Look, everybody knows how hard he tried to work to get back for the playoffs. I mean, he was grinding that whole time, and then, we fell short there. But he was still putting in the work, and while everybody else was on vacation, not that they weren't working, he was up here grinding, man, getting back with our group. Brett Fisher did a hell of a job with him, but, man, he's a worker. That's all that matters, man. He works on every little thing. He doesn't get down in the dumps. He doesn't have bad days, and because of that, he continues to get better. And I love this group.
Aidan Hutchinson, if he didn't...
Man, I love it. I love the statements here by Dan Campbell. I want to break his video down just a little bit, so... Essentially, what I took out was the middle of the video. He's about the business, man. He's all about the business. He's confident in his ability. He sees a player that's bending it like Beckham, and he's hungrier now more than ever before. That is a recipe for what he's calling a superhero, or maybe it's a villain movie. Not so much a superhero. Story in the making, right? Could be. He says he's a worker, right? No bad days. Those are two things to make you a Detroit Lion. No bad days, got to be a hard worker, right? You pick up that lunch pail, you get your ass off to work, man. You work until that whistle blows. It's time to go home. Calvin Shepard had a lot to say about Aidan Hutchinson too, especially to start training camp off. And he was saying things like, you know, he sees a better football player. Matter of fact, I'll bring in the quote here of what Calvin Shepard said, because it's important to recap this stuff, right? I think it's important for us to get a pulse on what these guys are doing, how they're practicing. But here's what Shep said. I see a better player, quite frankly, and I'm looking for Hutch to have a big season. And he's one of the pillars on the defense. Listen, I'm not saying anything about numbers, statistics, or any of that. But I see a better player than we had last year. And you might be like, whoa. Like, that's the same thing I said when I saw him out there. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whoa, too. You know what I'm saying? Remember that song, Like Whoa? I don't remember who sings it, but it was a great tune. Seriously, if Aiden is that good right now, then we do have a superstar in the making this year. We got a guy that is going to take this defense to new heights and do some great things. Jared Goff said that he looks like a monster flying around, and he too is excited to see what's in store for Aiden this year. The reason why all of this came about is right here. Let me pull in Mr. Tim Twentyman. I caught this today. He says, Hutch rule. Aidan Hutchinson has been so dominant for most of the Lions training camp that head coach Jan Campbell sometimes has to adopt the Hutch rule at practice. The Hutch rule is when Hutchinson beats his man and likely has a sack on a play, but they don't blow the whistle and continue the rep so the offense can get their work in during team periods. The quote that I said earlier to you, if you can't block Hutch and he's going to blow up every practice, then that's not good either, said Campbell today. So that today. Now, the reason why he brings this up is because he led with the Hutchinson observation because it factored into one of the big situational periods of the day. The offense was given the ball down 24-14 with 3:41 on the clock in the fourth quarter at their own 31-yard line. The offense was able to navigate down the field and score with a little over a minute to go. But Hutchinson had a third down sack that the offense was allowed to play through, and that would have made a fourth and long situation very hard to get. Safety, Kirby Joseph, also likely had a sack on a blitz, and Campbell let the offense continue through. So, look, man, this defense is playing very well. Evidence again of today that this defense is out of control. Good. Now, I said it last year coming out of training camp, and yes, I'm going to repeat myself for about the 50th time. Last season, I walked out of training camp and said, this is the best defense I've ever seen my lifetime as a Lions fan, 40 plus years, but definitely since 2014. And I don't think I was wrong. This year, I might have to double down and take it to the next step. It might be the best Detroit Lions defense ever in the history of the franchise. If what we're hearing is correct and what I've seen now in a couple of practices isn't fooling my eyes, it could definitely be one of the best defenses the Lions have ever put together. And as soon as everybody gets back and healthy, I'm thinking it's going to be. This could be something that, like Eric said earlier today, movies are made about, man. This could be a movie in the making that we're about to see. Let me get into a couple of more videos here. And it's going to be from Aidan Hutchinson. Because of what he says, about being at the point that he's at in his career where he's shooting for the stars every year. And that he's got a standard that he operates by. Getting to the league is one thing. Figuring it out is another. But now he needs to finish every year with the standard, and it is what it is, right? Let's just hear what he had to say. We'll finish up this video here in just a few moments. All right, here's Aidan Hutchinson. I believe this was after practice and end of July, possibly end of July. Here we go.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. You know, it's like you said, I've had my best seasons coming back from something, and this is the last one, by the way. So I'm gonna get that out there. But yeah, we're gonna be shooting for that same trend, and I feel like I'm in a great spot. Body feels good, and just a matter of time now.
Yesterday, Kelvin said that you look better than you did at the start of last year or last summer. What is your confidence level in that? Do you feel like you're even better player than you were last year?
Absolutely, yeah. Again, if I wasn't progressing every year, I think there'd be an issue, you know. So that will always be the standard.
To recover, it's another thing for your defensive coordinator to come out and say that you look better already. How did you recover, but also improve over the last few months?
You know, I've been working out for 9 months now, you know. So it's if I wasn't better physically, and obviously I got another year in the league, so mentally you're taking more steps up. So it's really. I would hope that'd be the case, you know, as you progress from a year-to-year basis. I'd hope that I continue to, you know, stay on that upward trend.
What are your expectations for this year? Because I mean, you were on your way to being the MVP last year, on that trend. So just coming back from that, what is your goals for this season? Just maybe more individually than team. We obviously all know what the team goal is.
For sure. I mean, I'm at a point now in my career where it's like, you know, you're shooting for the stars every year, and that's if that's not the expectation or standard you put to yourself. And I don't think it's got to be that way. And so I think from here on out, those first couple of years, you try to, you know, you're getting in the league, you're figuring it out. But now it's every year the standard is what it is.
How ready are you for things to be live again?
I can't wait. You know, camp is always it's a grinder. Oh, I can hear myself in some microphone. Camp is always it's a grind. You know, so. You always, in these hard days, you look forward to September when we're opening up with Green Bay. So that's kind of the thought pattern. Everything is to get ready for that game.
Is football field normal, natural again?
Oh yeah. Football, it's been feeling normal for a long time now.
What was the point where you kind of felt like, okay, I feel like this is good?
I would say first day OTAs, I went out there, I got kicked, stepped on. You think about everything under the sun on this leg, and after practice, I got up and I was like, well, all right, you know, we're good. And I think it takes those physical things to happen to you to mentally kind of solidify where you're at and the confidence and moving past it, you know. Yeah.
All right, he's back, man, and like he said, he got kicked on, he got stepped on, and just about everything that could be thrown at the leg that was surgically repaired happened, and he felt good. It's the same thing that I was saying about JMO, you know, a couple years ago when he went down really awkward and then he got up and felt fine. It's how it is when you have a major injury. You have to kind of go through some stuff to get that mental confidence again. And Aiden just, I mean, again, he's telling you the truth that I had to get my confidence back, but I had to go through this stuff, right? It's not that he didn't have confidence in himself as a football player. It's the confidence in the leg. You know, that's about it. Here's what I'd like to finish on. This dude has had 9 months of straight physical rehab and working out and details, training, right? Like we're just talking about Lee McNeil, who potentially is coming back even earlier because he thinks he's done with the rehab and he's just training. Aiden's probably been training for, I don't know, probably 4 extra months maybe. This dude is going to be in the best physical shape of his life ever. You know, it's better than your freshman year or your rookie year because you have to go from, a national championship to, you know, the combine and all that stuff. And then you go in and you finally make it to your team and you got rookie mini camps, OTAs, all that stuff. And then training camp. You never get a break. You never get a real break to get your body in the right shape. Now that you're entering, you know, year 4 and you've had 9 months of straight training, this dude is going to wreck it this year. He's going to be the most well-rested, ready to go than he's ever been before. If Aiden can truly be elite and the best or one of the best top 3 edge rushers in the league, this will be the year that he proves it. As long as he stays on the field, I think that Aiden can do it. So good luck, Aidan, man. I'm super excited about the season 2. I know he is. And the Hutch rule. That's hilarious. Look for a t-shirt coming soon to 313threads.com. Check you out tomorrow. Take care. Go on, Pride. Go Detroit Lions. Bye-bye.